Guys, will you shut up for a minute? We gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas tonight.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Welcome back, subscribers, and to those new people that just happen to be stopping by wondering what this channel is all about, welcome to you guys too. I looked over my other videos and I realized I made some major confusion in my intros and everything like this for my trip to. I want it to be clear in your mind. I've done that, and I apologize for the time that you've spent watching that, but it kind of is a general idea, but I'm going to make one final tweak, and I'm going to call this the new intro 1. Okay, apologize again for your time. It just so happens that this is the way it's going to work out. I went ahead and contacted the hotel, and lucky for me, they had a business suite I was going to be staying in that had all the computer and everything I needed. All I had to do was upload from or to the cloud my cover art and the intro part to go ahead and splice together what you're seeing here right now. So anyway, with that in mind, let me go ahead and do a quick little introduction to those people that are new here. It's just a strategy I have that I came up with that stems from my 4 and 2 that's called the Eureka process. Or I'm sorry, the Eureka Strategy. And where this came from was a fleeting thought I had early in the morning. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to jump up, get on the computer, give this a shot to see if I'm onto something. And in the process, I recorded it just to, have record of it because it's kind of cool. Anyway, so with that in mind, it evolved into what I'm working with right now. And this whole process is just an evolution process of a strategy theory I have in my mind. And with that, I just figured I'd share with people to show you how I come up with a strategy that's not only affordable for everybody, but has the least amount of risk. And that's the one thing I was working on in my adaptation to that original Eureka, is I wanted to diminish that risk all the way down as far as I could and keep it simple. Okay, I looked at the higher tier and I'm thinking the average person can't get into that, and I want this strategy to be one that everybody can use it on a relatively common traveling bankroll that they take to Las Vegas. So that's where you're going to be learning about that right now. So that was the goal of all of this, and that's where I'm kind of at right now. I haven't tested this at all. So once again, this is just an off-the-cuff video of me doing a test for my own records that I'm also just going to be sharing with you guys along the way. So with that in mind, this is how it's going to play out. I'm going to first of all establish the point. I'm going to go ahead and put up and I'm going to cap the 6 and the 8 with the 5. The reason why is there are more odds of the 6 and 8 coming in than any other number, with exception of the 7. So I want to maximize that as much as possible. If you wish, you can go ahead and cap it off with the correct amount. That would be 12 each. But in this situation, I want to keep that bankroll low. This is developed generally for a bubble craps machine. The reason why is the average person is kind of intimidated by the craps machine. It looks or craps table. It looks very confusing, blah, blah, blah. In my thought, in my assessment of the game, this is just my own personal assessment, I find certain things to be a distraction, one that are going to suck money out of your body and out of your wallet, more importantly. And that is, the hard ways, don't play them. Hedge bets, over time you're going to get wiped out. And anything like that is a bad idea to stay away from, in my thoughts and opinions, because with pressing and so on and so forth, there's a good opportunity or a good chance you're going to have a lot of chunk of change on that table, and as a result, after you 7 out, you might have won what, 10, 15 bucks if you're playing at the lower level, and you know what, big deal. Meanwhile, you had 80 bucks or 90 bucks on the table. So that's what I wanted to gear myself away from when coming up with this. It had to be simple. Most solutions in life are very simple. Okay, so once again, I'm going to just go ahead and keep hitting this puppy and hoping for a nice long Red Bull roll. Great. Now this gives me an opportunity to share with you my second tier and how I'm going to work it. It's very important, if you haven't watched my other videos, to make sure that the point is established directly after the 7. Again, it's based on that theory that I have, or that was presented to me, on the statistic that the average shooter rolls 7 times before the 7 out. So I want to diminish that as far down as I possibly can. And the only way to achieve that is by ensuring that the come out roll happens directly after the 7. Okay, if it doesn't, you're getting into the, I want to try to narrow that puppy down. It really doesn't matter so much on the lower level. You could pretty much walk up to a table that has a point established and throw some money up there and call it good. But in this situation, going to the second tier, I want you to have it that way. Now, I want you to set up your money at 140 across on the craps machine, on the bubble craps machine. And the reason why is I want it to pay out, or I'm sorry, pay you back the amount of money you just lost in that previous roll and give you a profit. And I want to hit it for only 1. And I'm going to clear it down. And in my last video, I was very confusing because I wanted you to roll it out and not off it. And so that was my bad. But this is going to be a clarification of that because I'm going to be pulling those videos probably tomorrow to keep the confusion down from anybody who might have watched that. This is a solution. This is the correct way of I'm going to do it for this race to kind of clear things up. And I'm just going to run it out and hope for a nice long roll. Again, going back to the second tier, make sure the point is established. See, it wasn't established. So in whatever strange situation, or it's not actually strange, if the next point is a come out roll, okay, and let's say you weren't playing this way and you kept going and waiting for a point to establish, and then you put your money up there, you're increasing the expectations that that 7 is going to come up, and I don't want that to happen. So again, I'm just going to roll it out and wait for the 7. Again, waiting for the come out roll. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and put my 25s across. And then cap it off to make it 140 across. So your bankroll for this, I'd like for you to get $300 per session bankroll. I think that's what I came up with. Times 3 is going to give you about $1,000. And a lot of people travel to Las Vegas with $1,000 anyway. So that's an adequate amount for the normal person that travels to Las Vegas anyway. And I'm going to hit it for just 1 roll or 1 win. Just 1 roll. Forget about the 1 win. It's just 1 roll. Then I'm going to close it down. I'm going to down it or tell the dealer, hey, you know what? Make it 34 inside on the 6 and 8, I think is the call. And that way they'll know to put the extra change on the 6 and 8. Because normally it's 22 inside, so 34. Anyway, with that in mind, bam, 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 let's go ahead and just roll these things out. Okay, that happened. It's okay. This is what I want to work with. Again, it's coming up with a strategy that's going to overcome this madness. Point was established directly after the 7. I'm going to lay out the 25s, followed by 10. And I'm going to hit it for 1 win. In this case, you have to establish the point to clear it out. You just tell the dealer, hey, you know what, make it 34 inside. He's going to put the money out there and give you back the extra money, and then you just go ahead and play it out. Whoops. Just let it rip, baby. Boom, and then that happens. It's okay. We want to overcome these hurdles. Again, point was established after the 7. And I'm kind of glad this is a choppy table to share with all of you, in hopes that, number one, it doesn't happen, but at least to share with you the way to take care of it in case it does happen. Again, I don't want it to happen. So anyway, you're going to go ahead and hit it for 1. Only now, clear it out. Why? Is I want to, again, reduce the expectations of that 7 coming in, because I want to hit it on the first roll after the point, and I'm going to roll it out till I get that 7. Excuse me. I'm going to do it again. There's another 7. again, I have to wait for the 7. Why is because of that roll. Wait for the point. There it is. I'm going to slap this puppy down once again. So in that case, you just tell the dealer to off it until you tell him to on it. And I'm going to hit it for 1. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead, in this case, I'm going to roll it out, establish the point, and clear it. Okay, generally in that amount of time, I'm up $90. For this video, I'm going to stop here. If for whatever reason you happen to go out at the top or the second level, which is now going to be the top tier, simply go ahead and take your other 140. In this case, if you're up, cash out and go. All right. The only thing that's going to kill you on this is if you get a bad roll or something happens early on in the beginning. That's the only thing that can, from what I see, be a potential problem. So again, you want to lock up those winnings. You want to take those small little winnings, cash out the tickets. That's why in all the other videos you saw me with just a few small tickets, is I had a limited bankroll because of a trip that I had coming up and other things that I had throughout my time. I had to take care of my financial responsibilities, so it only allowed me for a very small bankroll, and that's what I was working with, hoping to double it, cash it out. And I didn't take pictures of all of them, but it is what it is. So anyway, once again, if you happen to go out at that level, and if you're up, just cash out your ticket, take your winnings of 120 or whatever it's going to be within that full hour, go do your gig. It's probably going to be about roughly 150 is what I'm guessing. You know, go to another casino hop, take a break, do your thing. You know what? But if you want to continue to, then you would go ahead and to play your last 140 at that level. Again, waiting for the point to come after the 7, only for 1 roll, or which is going to be it's going to be a win. If it isn't, you shut it down. Patiently wait for the 7. If it is a win, then I want you to regress back down and follow what you've watched before. Anyway, I'm going to bring this to a close here. I need to take care of some paperwork before tomorrow. And in that situation, or because of that, I want to close this down, of course, by saying Chokti Kap. Chokti Kap, which is Thai for best of luck to you. And anyway, hey, you have a great day and a better tomorrow. You guys take it easy.